All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back. Today we're doing a deep dive, and this one's going to be about behavior-driven development. Think of it this way. It's like before you bake a cake,
Okay.
you got to have a recipe.
Right.
And that recipe, that's kind of like what BDD is for software. It tells you exactly what you need and how to put it all together.
Yeah, I like that. I like that analogy. But really, the thing about BDD that always gets me excited is that it's not just about, writing code or anything. It's about communication. It's about
Yeah.
getting everyone on the same page. Like you said with the recipe analogy, everyone needs to be looking at the same instructions.
Okay, so let's get into like the nuts and bolts here.
Yeah.
Our sources define BDD as, and I'm quoting here, building software by focusing on how it should behave using plain, everyday language.
I love that.
So like plain language, that's key here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the whole point, is that
Yeah.
it shouldn't be this super technical, jargony
Right.
thing that only,
Developers understand.
developers in the basement. Yeah.
Right. The business people should be able to read it.
Mm-hmm.
The testers, the designers, everyone.
Right. And that's what I think is so cool about BDD is it almost forces you to think about the problem you're trying to solve in a way that anyone can understand.
Mm.
And, in our sources, they talk about how,
Yeah.
BDD really helps prevent these
Yeah.
costly mistakes that can
Right.
happen later on down the line.
Totally.
Eh.
So how do we actually do this? Like, what are the tools? What's the process?
Okay, so there's this idea of feature files, which are basically imagine you're writing a screenplay,
Okay.
but for software.
Right.
And each scene in the screenplay is like a specific feature or a behavior that you want the software to have.
So like a user story, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Like a user story, but even more specific.
Gotcha.
And these feature files, they're written in plain text.
Okay.
So anyone can open them up and read them.
No coding experience required.
Exactly. No coding experience required.
I like that.
And it makes it so much easier for everyone to collaborate because you're not,
Yeah.
throwing around technical terms
Oh.
that half the team doesn't even understand.
Okay, so I'm looking at this example here from our sources.
Okay.
It's for a user login system.
Mm-hmm.
It's really straightforward, actually.
It should be.
Like even I can understand it, and I'm not a developer.
Right, right.
So it's got this scenario. It's called
Yeah.
successful login with valid credentials.
Right.
And it's just like step by step what should happen.
Yeah.
So like the first step is it says given the user is on the login page.
So setting the stage.
Right,
You're
exactly.
starting at the login page.
And then it says when the user enters a valid username and password.
Okay, so now the user's taking an action.
And clicks the login button.
Yeah, so we're adding a little more detail to that action.
And then it says then the user should be redirected to the home page.
Right, that's the expected outcome.
And a welcome message should be displayed.
Perfect. So
Uh-huh.
see, it's all very
Yeah.
logical, step by step.
And it uses these keywords like given, when, then.
Yeah, those are the key ingredients
Next.
to your recipe.
So can we break down those keywords a little bit more?
Sure, yeah. So feature, that's just the overall, like you said, what are we talking about? What's the functionality?
Right, like user login, that's the feature.
Exactly. Scenario is then a specific example within that feature.
Okay,
So successful login, that's our scenario.
gotcha.
But we could have another scenario for
Oh, yeah.
invalid login or forgotten password.
Right.
And each of those would have its own little mini screenplay.
Let's like breaking it down
Yeah.
into smaller chunks.
Exactly.
Okay, and then given is, like you said, setting the stage.
They set up, yeah.
When is the action?
The action.
Then is the outcome.
Outcome, exactly.
And is just adding more detail.
Yeah, just to kind of flesh it out.
I mean, it's amazing how these simple words.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, if you're building a house and you don't have a blueprint,
Yeah.
you're going to run into some problems.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Right. Like the plumber's going to be putting the pipes in the wrong place.
Exactly.
The electrician's going to be like, wait, where are the outlets supposed to go?
Yeah, it's just chaos.
So having that blueprint, that feature file, it's like
Essentially.
essential. It's the foundation. This has been super insightful. I feel like I've learned a lot about BDD and, more importantly, about the power of clear communication.
Absolutely.